Hey, hey, welcome to So What's Even Happening, the podcast where creative entrepreneurship meets real life self-care.
I'm Courtney, an artist and entrepreneur from LA.
And I'm Ziamara, a business owner and consultant from Oakland.
We're two Black women navigating the ups and downs of business building, fostering personal growth, and holding each other accountable.
Each week, we're sharing inspiring stories, facts, and some good laughs as we talk about creativity, self-care, and making it all work.
So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's figure out what's even happening together.
Cover my tootsies.
There we go. There you go. Do you remember that scene in Clueless where she was having that date with Christian? You know, they find out like he's gay in the end, but she was having that date with him and she was like trying to be cute and they're like laying next together watching a movie and she's like, my feet are cold. And he got a pillow and like just put it over her feet. Do you remember that?
No.
Because he couldn't pick up on like the...
Oh, right.
She was trying to be like, you know, cute and
flirty.
Cheeky, yeah.
Cheeky.
Anyway, hi guys.
Hey, welcome back.
So what's even happening?
I'm Ziamara.
And I'm Courtney.
And we're your hosts of So What's Even Happening, bringing you everything creative entrepreneurship, personal development, self-care, and all the other random fuckery that happens in between.
Yeah, we're talking about it all.
Everything.
We're accountability partners.
We are.
That's how this whole thing started.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Started all 2024.
Yeah. We were on a mission to make 2024 our best year yet.
Shout out Mel Robbins for that workbook that brought us together.
Thank you, girl. Like, just, oh my gosh, what a great, I mean, it's the one major thing I've changed in my life for this year and has had a huge impact on just all the things that we're talking about.
The year's not even over.
I know.
We still got 7 weeks left.
Yeah.
Shit.
Crazy.
What?
I know.
Yeah. Crazy. It's incredibly satisfying and like I feel very proud of like the shifts that I personally made.
Yeah.
And for me, if you guys don't know, like I own an accessories brand. I design leather bags and accessories. I partner with...
That are gorgeous.
Thank you. I partner with artisans in Ethiopia and Malawi to craft them by hand. So it's bags, home decor, jewelry, all things accessories. And we'll be turning 10 years old next year. And
when you hear this.
Right. Yeah. When you hear this. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I've started to actually consult. Because of all my years in business and just like my knowledge and my experience and just my network has allowed me to expand in that. So I think adding that has been a really big shift for me because it also is just very much like, how do I fit in the world? Like, and dealing with imposter syndrome and all this stuff. So it's been a huge shift to like have someone hold my hand.
Yeah, totally.
Each week, Monday at 10 a.m. to help me get there. Thank you so much.
Of course. That's what I'm here for. It's interesting, too, because, like you said, like this year, it was a lot of change, a lot of shifts. I feel like there's a lot of people, I feel like in our circles that we know that are just going through these, you know, transitional times, whether it's career, family, just life stuff. I feel like there's so much shifting and changing. And, on the topic of that, I feel like what you just said. You said you're proud of the shifts that you've made. You're you know, it's nice to look back on the things that you've done, the things that you've had to do. But I think that the topic of this episode, I guess the theme of this episode is should. The word should. And I feel like this is a topic that's personal to me because being in so I'm an artist, painter.
A fine painter.
Fine painter. Fine artist.
Fine artist. I was like, wait, that comes out wrong.
I don't like that though. But
she makes fine art, people.
It's interesting because, you know, when you go through changes in life and just you're trying to figure stuff out, I feel like there's so many people that want to insert their opinions on what you should be doing
oh my God.
in your own life. And
I
that's
just,
always been it's been very triggering for me just to hear, you'll be having conversations with people and it's easy, I feel like, and I'm sure I do it too. You kind of just, it just comes out like, oh, you should do this, you should do this, you should do that. And there's just something about that should word that just never sat right just to digest it, especially when it's coming from a place of just like carelessness, like, oh, you should do that, you should do that, like it's no big deal, like, have you maybe thought that, like, maybe I've considered that already? And I think that for me it's also about just the perspective and just like how you're looking at things, how you're talking to people, how you're approaching a situation, versus putting yourself on the situation, in terms of like thinking that you know best for someone or that someone knows best for you, and just that whole thing. So yeah, this is all about the should word, and trying to maybe change the way we use the word, be more mindful of how we use the word, so it's not so heavy, because I feel like just receiving a lot of like, oh, you should do that, you should, it's like telling someone you should get therapy. It's like, okay, like, wait, what?
Unsolicited advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially for people who are not experts in that field or don't have experience.
Yeah.
Don't run your business.
Yeah.
Don't know anything about your business.
They aren't even walking in your shoes. They're not even, like, no one is you. No one is this.
Nope.
Only you. So I feel like for me, it just ignites this feeling in me that just makes me want to be like, stay away. Like, stop shooting me. Like you know everything.
Right.
Or you know what's best for me.
Yeah. I remember, like, even in renovating my house. Oh, you should do this. You should extend the house so you can add another room. You should put an ADU in your backyard. You should X, Y, and Z. I was like, well, you should pay for it.
Right.
Because do you not know how much that's going to cost me?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be $150,000 to put a fucking ADU in my backyard. I mean, yes, I would love that. But also, I would have to level out my backyard because I live on a hill. I would have to put out plumbing and do all this kind of stuff. Like, there's all these things that people are just not, they're just making these assumptions.
Yeah.
And they're not asking the right questions.
Yeah.
They're not asking, have you considered doing X, Y, and Z? What if I don't even want to do that?
Right.
So you're already telling me I should do something that I don't even want to do?
Right. It's like a man telling a woman what she should do with her body. You know how triggered women are by that kind of stuff? It's the same thing. It's like, I know what's best, and I'm just going to project this all into you. Take it, because I think that's what you should do.
Right.
Most of the times, it's people doing what they would do in the situation, which has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them.
Right. So even people suggesting in my own business, oh, you should make belts.
Right. It's like, F you.
Well, one, I don't want to.
Right.
Like, I just,
because
I
that's
don't
your
want
decision.
I don't want to deal with sizing.
Yeah. Right.
Like, what thing I love about accessories is, like, it's one size, mostly.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
So for, like, ring size, I don't even offer rings.
Right.
Everyone got earlobes.
Right.
For jewelry. You know, like, most bags fit most people.
Yeah.
Some, you know, in terms of body size or and that kind of stuff, like, it just depends on what you want and, like, that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But don't tell people what they should do in their business unless they're asking you for advice. Unless you are in business, unless you have experience in retail or in finance or a service-based business or whatever it is, you know, don't just be shitting people.
Yeah. It's like icky.
It's like shitting on people, like shitting people.
Right.
And it's just like, it's unnecessary.
It is.
And it's more like, have you considered, or what do you want your outcome to be?
It's asking a question versus telling. I think that's really it. The shift is just being curious as opposed to automatically inserting what you think someone should be doing, which is a lot of times based on society, expectations, family, you know, just what someone did in the past that, you know, and just like you're assuming that, like, that's what you should be doing too. And then spreading that gospel to everybody. That doesn't apply to everybody.
Right.
And I think it can be really off-putting. So I think it's just an opportunity to kind of like call it out and just say like, just it's really just like being mindful and thinking about how you approach people and insert your opinions. It's more so about getting curious, I think.
Yeah. And for me, like I'm always like keep in mind that this person cares for me and this person is giving me unsolicited advice about what I should be doing in my business or whatever it is, because they care and they are interested genuinely. But it's just not always helpful. Like, especially like, oh, you should sell at the farmers markets or something like that. You should sell at a certain store, but it's not in alignment with my brand.
Right.
Like, it's not in alignment with any of that, you know? What am I even doing selling $300 bags at some place that doesn't warrant for that?
Yeah.
No one wants this. The demand is not there.
Yeah. Sorry. We're touching toes.
Like, what is
We're
that?
so childish.
She's playing footsie with me, guys.
Everyone who needed to have your feet on the couch.
I'm just trying to be more
Oh my
comfortable.
God, I love your earrings. I just noticed them.
Thanks.
They're so cute.
My friend Latoya makes them.
They're so pretty.
Her brand is Coco Centric.
Oh, cool.
Black-owned, woman-owned brand. She's based in San Francisco.
Amazing.
It gives me like edgy rocker.
Totally.
Like,
But almost like vintage, like 70s even. I love it.
I think she did this one too.
Beautiful.
I think. Anyway, shout out to Black-owned businesses, small businesses.
We love those.
Hey,
Hey.
what were we talking about?
What you should be doing.
Oh,
You see how that sounds?
yeah.
You should do. It's
I
just
felt shame.
right. It's like someone in your face, like you should do that, or do just. And I think I'm very passionate about this because
You are.
I am. It's just I think it's. Look, I'm an artist. I am an Aquarius. I am an only child. I hate being told what to do. I walk to the beat of my own drum, like all those things. So when someone outside of this, you know, of me and my bubble and who I am is saying like, you should do this or you should do that, it's very off-putting to me. It's someone saying, I know what's best. This is what you should do. You'll be happy if you do this.
Right.
You'll be satisfied if you do this.
And you're sucking right now.
Right. You should follow this path.
Do this so you can get better.
Right. You should do this so you can be here. Because I think that makes sense in my head. When, like, almost like, how dare you? Like, that has nothing, like, it's the lack of curiosity. It's the just this notion of, I know what's best, and I'm just going to spit it out because I think that they need to hear this, versus getting curious with someone and saying like, oh, have you considered X, Y, and Z? And having a dialogue versus saying, you should do this. It's just, it's really just reframing how you get curious with people, or how you interact with people. I feel like that's something that, that word is something that we can throw around without even realizing how damaging it can be to someone, how much shame it can put onto someone, how much pressure it can put on someone.
Especially, sorry.
No, you go.
Especially when it's like referencing something that you created from absolute scratch.
Yeah.
That you own.
Yeah.
And that's like an extension of you.
Yeah.
And sure, some people might say like, oh, we should just buck up and like, you know, just get some thick skin. But it's also just like, well, it's more about, we could spin it onto the other person as well too, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not just us, but it's like, we have considered this.
Yeah.
Maybe we did want to do this. We do want to do this. We don't have the money, the funding that most small businesses, creative entrepreneurs like deal with.
Yeah.
Is funding, you know? So like, yes, we consider this. Yes, we want to do all the things.
It's almost like insulting your intelligence. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Someone saying like, oh, you should, it's like, you don't think I maybe thought of that? You don't think you don't think that's on my vision board right now? Like, you don't think that's in the works even? It could already be happening.
How do you not know?
Right. It's the
How do you not
assumption.
know it's not already done?
It's the assumption. I think that that's maybe the part that I'm uncovering, that it's like, is people assuming that they think they know everything. And I think I'm maybe just sensitive to people who are just like know-it-alls.
Excuse me?
Does baby need a nap? Maybe?
I think because we're just so warm and cozy. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I just need some fresh air.
Maybe. Some sun.
Sun.
Recharge outside.
Maybe, like a crystal.
Yeah. You're a crystal.
I know. It's no full moon, so no need to charge. I'm a crystal girly, guys.
Send her all the crystals.
I have too many.
Okay, don't. Just send some
Don't.
money. Just send some money, maybe.
Just send the money. I'll happily
I'll figure it out, yeah.
Happily.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Shoulding?
Shoulding. And how it, how we've been taking it, receiving it,
Yeah.
and how people have been giving it.
Yeah.
And I also think maybe there's a part of like ego there that like why we don't like it.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I know it's an ego thing.
Yeah. And not that we have big egos, but it's also just like, it's just, why am I reacting to it this way?
Yeah.
Because I feel like my ego is like bruised or sensitive
Yeah.
or I feel attacked.
Yeah. It's probably feeling it's almost like someone giving you a giant stack of papers, like at the end of the day or something. It's like, here, you should do this. Like, here's all this stuff I think you should do. Like
I have a mountain of other things
Yeah.
I am doing.
Yeah. Well, and not even just literally. It's like, you should do this is like, maybe in the back of someone's head, they're thinking like, that's one more thing I have to do. I'm overwhelmed. Like, I don't need this right now. Yes, I want to do that. You're just reminding me of something that I'm just not ready to do right now, or that I haven't committed to yet, or that's in the works and it's driving me crazy. Like, they have no idea what's actually happening. And I think it's just that like here, just take everything that I'm telling you as what you should be doing and carry it. It's like, I didn't ask for this.
Right.
That's how it feels to me.
Right. Don't want it. Don't need it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. But
Yeah.
carry
I think
on.
it's also, I feel like I can be like feisty and like a little sassy sometimes. And I think it's also when people say certain things, it's like calling out. Like, if someone's like, oh, you should do this, I'm like, no. I'm just moving on.
Yeah.
And just kind of like throwing them off, like, oh, like, it kind of just kind of stops it, and maybe it gives people a chance to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said it that way, or maybe I
Right.
should have asked a question.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have made an assumption.
There was this man at Renegade Craft last weekend. So Renegade Craft is a pop-up market show that travels all over the U.S. And they have a big one that happens during the holidays. And I was just there with my brand, and it's a great show to do for sales and meet people in person. People can check out your brand, buy. And this older man came by, and he's like, oh, like, how's it going? I was like, oh, it's good. And at the time, there was no one in my booth, right? And I had a setup where I had like racks all the way around, like the perimeter of my 10 by 10 booth. And then I had a long table in the middle that had like our small goods and stuff. And he's like, I noticed people who had this setup, they didn't have anybody shopping. And I'm like, what? And mind you, like, I just got done with a whole slew of people who just bought bags. Like, I'm exhausted from selling and slinging bags.
Right, because that's what you do.
That's what I do. I've been doing this for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, oh, yeah, you should. You should maybe mix it up. And I said, no. People come in cycles and waves, and I don't find that to be true. He's like, oh, you're rebuking what I'm saying, or like you're disagreeing with what I'm saying. I was just like, yeah, I am. He's like, okay, well, if it's been good for you, then that's good. I'm like, but here you are giving me advice, but not knowing that I have been killing it.
That's the triggering
you
part.
came by during a lull.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's your energy scaring people away. So
That's
why don't you
it.
get the fuck away from my booth?
Right. That's the should part. That's the triggering part for me. That's the part that's like, how dare you? Like, and I also think it's a thing where people like to share their opinions.
Right.
I feel like everyone does. I feel like that's just a thing. But some people more than others, I think, are adamant about hearing the sound of their voice and making sure their opinion is said and known out loud. Like, they just can't help themselves. They just have to share. Like, you should do this. Like, it's like bursting out of them. And I think it's not thoughtful. It's not mindful.
No.
He had no interest in getting to know you, asking you.
Not mindful, not demure.
No, none of the things. So, anyway, I think that just it's something that I feel like I'm still working on, just like receiving, because it's not going to stop. People are always going to say, you should do that. I do it myself, like just not even thinking. I'm definitely mindful of how it comes out, or I'm thinking like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Like, oh, I shouldn't have shoulded them. But I think at this point, it's really just a lesson in being mindful and present and asking questions versus making assumptions.
Don't make assumptions.
Yeah.
Part of the 4 Agreements. If you haven't read that book, The
Highly
4
recommend.
Agreements, highly recommend.
Yeah.
That is one of the rules, one of the agreements.
One of the best ones. That's like almost like Bible level. Just
Doing
like
assumptions?
Yeah. No, just the 4 Agreements. Just
yeah.
remembering those things in the back of your head.
Yeah, I definitely use those to operate in life.
Yeah. Yes. It's a lot of even just like internal dialogue telling myself to remember those things in certain moments where I'm like, you know what, let me not take it personal. Let me not make assumptions, all those things. So yeah.
That's it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the word should?
Yeah. What are your thoughts? What are your experiences with it? Do you use it? Are you a shoulder?
Yeah.
Maybe you're a
Are
shoulder.
we being babies?
Can we just not take it? Like
Right.
maybe.
Whatever.
Let us know.
We've come this far.
Let's
though, so I
talk
think
about
we're
it.
doing okay.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
Hit us in DMs. And stay tuned for our next episode coming soon.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see you then.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to So What's Even Happening. We hope you got a little inspiration and maybe a laugh or two.
If you love this episode, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. It really helps us grow. You can find us on YouTube and all your favorite podcast platforms.
And follow us on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at So What's Even Happening for more behind-the-scenes fun, tips, and updates.
Until next time, take care of yourself and keep making moves toward your dreams.
And remember, we're rooting for you, always.